Hello. Welcome to the stream. I am sorry for I'm going to talk a little bit more of an ASMR stream today because I'm still I got sick. I mean, I guess that's what you gotta expect from playing with like 2,000 people in one like big hall. There's gotta be the one Jeremy guy. But I'm fine. No COVID. Just a cold. But yeah, I definitely still wanted to stream today to pass on my experience on this German nationals. It was really cool. First of all, it was way too hot. I was thinking about like attending the nationals, like in like a kimono. I wanted to cosplay as a like Kitsune Fox Spirit, but it was way too hot. So the only thing I did was running around with a fox mask. I think that was special enough. Many people talked to me. I was like, "Oh, that's a cool mask." It was really nice. Yeah. So it was my first big event. It was kind of nice. The journey there was kind of rough because we were all using the special ticket, the special COVID ticket. But this ticket only lets you use like regional trains, and yeah, we couldn't use like a express train or something like that. So we had to like take a lot of detours, and a lot of people were using this ticket. So the trains were like always like super full, and on top of that there was like this festival on this weekend as well. It was near it wasn't in Bochum, but it was like somewhere like near Bochum. So the trains, on top of all the Yu-Gi-Oh players, they were full with like party people as well. That was a little bit too much for me. But the event itself was really cool. It was like the first big event in a while because of COVID. It's my first event, like in a different city. It was like really exciting. The event was held like in this big hall, and there were like over like 1,800 players, which is insane. I think the biggest event so far. So let me see. Here we go. Hands. As you may or may not know, I played Punk Agents, which is definitely a more interesting take on the Punk engine. So how was my record? My record was 4-4-1 on day 1, which is like okay, it's average, but it's not enough to top. So I dropped day 2 because I felt like it wasn't worth like playing more. And I played some side events with a couple of guys I met there. A 3 versus 3. We snacked some packs. It was nice. Swoop. So for my deck, 3 Earth, main searcher. It's one of the normal summons. Can normal summon that gal and search another agent monster. Pretty standard. Wait, where's the chat? Here you are. Ich bin noch ein bisschen erkältet. Kein Covid. Habe ich schon getestet. Green Neptune. What are the new support cards for the agent archetype? Nice extender, really good card. Discard this card, special summon an agent from your hand or graveyard, which is not Neptune. The special summon monster cannot be tributed, which is funny. And if the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or graveyard, you can special summon a Hyperion monster instead. Wouldn't be an agent deck without like 3 Venus and 3 bots. Yeah, it usually is a normal summon, but you don't need to, because you can special summon her with like Neptune, and because we're playing Punk Agents, sometimes you mill like a Venus with like the Chaos Ruler, which is insane. So you can special summon it for free and go into your Shine Ball plays. Lastly, we play one Majesty Hyperion and one Master Hyperion. This one is the old one. Special summon. If you like, both can special summon themselves from the hand. This one from graveyard as well. By banishing one agent monster from your hand, grave, or field, which is really good, really versatile. It is not a trigger effect to special summon. It's just like the maybe Chaos Dragons, for example. They're both level 8, really good to facilitate Synchro 10 plays. Majesty Hyperion can pop cards, Majesty Hyperion can banish cards from the graveyard, and if the Sanctuary Sky is on the field or in the graveyard, you can attempt to activate these effects twice. Of these two, this one is definitely the better one, because you can summon him from grave. As for the Punk Engine, play one Deer Note, one Ogre Dance, 2 Foxy Toot, 3 Xiamen. Somebody told me the correct pronunciation of this card is Xiamen, and I was like, no, I don't want to say that. And one Sharakusai. Not much to say about the Punk Engine. Really good, extending. They can play of themselves, which is really good. Next, hand traps. 3 Ash. Pretty standard. Branded Fusion is a thing. 3 Valor. Valor is really good because I play the Chaos Ruler, so it's a light target. Also, it's a tuner to go into like Hulky Fabrics. Lastly, 3 DD Crow. Pretty standard. Can hit a lot of stuff in the current meta with this. Yeah. Belts. 3 Sacred Waters in the Sky. That's the Rhoda for the archetype. You can search the agent monster. No, not really. You can search a monster that specifically lists the Sanctuary in the Sky in its text. So you can't search Venus with this one, which is kind of unfortunate. Additionally, this card will grant you life points if the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or in the graveyard. For each agent or like Hyperion monster you control, you get 500. I never came up. And it serves as battle protection for Sanctuary in the Sky related cards. 3 expensive ones, 3 Pot of Prosperity. Yeah. It really needs the consistency in this deck, because sometimes it can brick. I built it in a way where it should not brick like 80% of the times, but you know, what can you do? Sometimes you are unlucky. 3 Telly. I don't know why this card is at 3. It's so good. Glad this card got a reprint. We're talking about Droplet. Really good card. Carried a lot of games for me. Broke some really hard boards for me. Like I played against a Brave Punk pile deck with Scythe and stuff like that. This card saved me there. Seki 1-off, Called by the Grave, really good card. Not much to say about it. Seki 1-off, 1 Duster. I don't lose to mine. I don't want to lose to mine. Lastly, the 1 Font Sanctuary. Can search this card with the link 3. It's an Imperm on the field, and it will set the Rhoda from your deck to your field on activation. Additionally, this card is treated as the Sanctuary in the Sky on the field and in the graveyard. Extra deck. By the way, these extra deck sleeves are really cool. I got them at the Nationals because there was like a little stall where they sold like OCG sleeves. They're really really wanted to get some. And there were one with like the Arc Knight Parshath. That's like the counter fairy version. I don't play that guy obviously, but it is like a fairy that is associated with the Sanctuary in the Sky, so I thought yeah. Lynx. One Moon. Really good card. If you go with the Shine Ball line, you will always make this. 2 Shine Balls. This will dump the Majesty Hyperion from your deck to the graveyard. And can pop a card on the field by tributing a fairy monster. Came up once, but usually you just use her as like a bridge for link climbing and setting up your graveyard. One Noodle. We don't have to talk about this card. If you play Punk, you play this card. Easy Halki Firex plays within this deck. Can do a lot of shenanigans with like Formula Synchron. Yeah. Because you have a lot of level 8s, you can go into 10s. Yeah. One Night Lord Parshath. You go the Shine Ball route. This is like, this usually comes after the Protector, after the Moon. This one searches the trap, or like the Rhoda if you really need to. Furthermore, this card can do like it has other effects. These doesn't matter though, in this build at least. Yeah. One Unicorn. Gets rid of like cards that cannot be destroyed. And yeah, helps me climb into like this guy, Access Code Talker. There was a game where I got rid of this guy with Prosperity, and I lost that game because I could have gone into Access Code and finish the game, but he was banished, and I cursed myself on that day. One Apple. Came up a couple times. It wasn't too good in this event because I usually got dropped at it. But in theory, it's a nice card. And it's a fairy too. Synchro is one formula. Use this guy to get into like Synchro 10s on your opponent's turn, or to go into the King Calamity play. One Pluto. This guy never came up this tournament, this like event, which is really unfortunate because I think this card is really good. This guy, you can special summon this guy with Halki Firebricks as well, because he's a Synchro tuner, and he can quick effect Book of Moon if the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or in the graveyard. It's not bad, especially against like Sword Soul stuff like that. Not as good against Branded Despia. MVP. This guy facilitates a lot of plays with the Punk engine. It's way too easy to go into this guy with the Punk engine. It's like 1-card combo, use Yamen, search the Foxy Tune, or the Dianote if you have another like Punk monster already in hand. 10s, one Majesty Hyperion. I made this like twice, I think, which is unfortunate because I think this card is really good. Hyperion can send a fairy, like an agent or Sanctuary in the Sky related monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard and copy the effect for the turn. Additionally, he can banish, quick effect banish one card on the field, which is crazy. Sometimes you don't get access to Venus, so you make this, and he will act as your substitute Venus. One Chengying. Yeah, there's not much to talk about this guy. He's really good. Banishes. I played against a lot of Sky Strike at this tournament. And yeah, this guy carried me really because I could like banish all the rays from the graveyard, the engages and stuff. Really good one. Really hard to out too. One Fleur. Not much to say about this Synchro monster. It's the best level 10 Synchro at the moment. There's a reason this card is like $80. one really underrated card. This card won me so many games. The Psychic and Punisher. This card is so good. I killed so many people with this. Many people don't have an out for this, so they have to crash into this card and like take over 5k damage or something. It's crazy. Really good card. Your favorite card? The King Calamity. I did use it like 3 times because obviously you need to make sure that you don't lose time with this card. Yeah, this card is really good. It's not perfect though, because if you can't like finish the game next turn, yeah, it's kind of rough, because this guy doesn't do anything on the following turn except being like a 4k beater, which is nice, but still. As for the last part, because we're playing Sharokusai, we play the Rising card. Sometimes you have to like special summon a Yamen with Itali, and normal summon a Sharokusai. Use Sharokusai, pay 600, go fusion into this guy, tribute this, and special summon Deer Node, and this Yamen. Side deck. 1 Nip token. 3 token collector. This guy was really good in theory against Sword Soul, for example. I played only 1 Sword Soul this whole event, and he had like a designator for this card, and I was like, oh well, that was very unfortunate. 3 Nip. Yeah, not much to say about this. A lot of like Nip beats a lot of decks right now, and even if the Nip gets like negated by like a Griffin Rider or like a Fleur, you can you still trade 1 for 1, which is really good. To Cosmic, I don't want to lose to Anti-Spell Fragrance, or like I usually don't lose against Anti-Spell Fragrance, but like other Floodgates, for example. To Cosmic or Mystic Mine. 3D Barrier, yeah, self-explanatory. I never saw this card, by the way, and it freaked me out because I really needed that card in some duels. I never saw it. 1 Red Reboot, yeah, and last but not least, 3 Judgment. I saw this card a lot with Prosperity, for example. It was really nice. So, yeah, that was the deck.